that I can just like give it a go, because it's super interesting, and also, at least for me, quite a nice metaphor for when we're talking about leadership, both as a informal and formal leader and a facilitator. So this shout out to Mark and the others for creating this nice model. So if you like these videos, please consider to subscribe and share. That would be awesome. If we take a step back, the easiest way just to briefly explain host leadership is the analogy of a party host. I hope all of us have tried to be at a party, right? And the host can assume different roles throughout the party. Sometimes as a party host, we step forward, we put something in motion, we say, okay, now we are going to do this game, or we're going to do this game. Sometimes we also step back and just mingle with the rest of the crowd, making sure that everybody has something in their glasses, that the snack bowls are full. And sometimes we also go to the kitchen or whatever to prepare the next stuff, whatever, if it's a new game or if it's a new drink that people can decide to put in their glasses. That is the super quick introduction to host leadership. Anywho, so in the host leadership book, you have a lot of great materials, and one of the things I remind myself of again and again when I'm, for instance, facilitating, are these 4 positions for a host leader. Because when we are facilitators, for instance, we are host leaders, we should at least see ourselves as a host leader in the specific session or workshop. So I try to be quite clear in what of these 4 positions am I currently in. For instance, Liberating Structures, the toolbox that I've talked quite a lot about, helps us also to let us know when are we in what state, in what position. So the first position, in the spotlight, that makes sense. That is where we are being directive, or at least when we are standing up and we are saying something to the entire group and put attention on us. For instance, in Liberating Structures, that's when you are giving the invitation to the group to do something. And in the book, Mark also recommends that you warm up, that you rehearse just a little bit. Same with Liberating Structures. Here you would also think through the invitation. How are we going to do this so we can deliver it just right? Just with the enough uncertainty and ambiguousness to really start the minds of the participants. Often that's one of the positions, in the spotlight, and here practice how can we be confident when we are in the spotlight. The next one is with the guests. As a formal leader, that is, or an informal leader, that is also just attending meetings where you're not the host, where you're not in the spotlight, but where you're just a participant, showing that you can actually listen, empowering others to take ownership of the agenda. Again, back to Liberating Structures, I often see myself when I facilitate either with the guests or in the gallery somewhere along this. So here we are empowering people to run with it, right? You do this exercise, then I will just be one of the participants. And that is really important, that we stay here and that we are true to this and not accidentally put ourselves in the spotlight. So be aware of that. When are we in the spotlight, and when are we just with, not just, but when are we with the guests? Then in the gallery, for instance, if we are facilitating impromptu networking where people are talking in pairs, I would consider myself to be in the gallery. I'm observing the crowd, and I often do that when I facilitate to see what is the mood in the room. I'm not necessarily going to intervene directly, at least, with the mood, but I'm just observing how are people reacting. Are they engaged? Are they zoned out? If they're zoned out, we need to change something. Are they engaged? Do we need more time before I put myself in the spotlight again to get somebody else to be in the spotlight? Probably. And then sometimes we also need to retreat or go to the kitchen. That is where we remove ourselves from the party, so to say, and we go into the kitchen. Some people tend to forget this, and this is super, super important, because this is where we regenerate a lot of our energy. This is where we can do meditation, where we can just like sit, relax, reflect. How did this last coaching session go? How did this last meeting go? How am I currently doing? How is the team doing? This is where we can reflect, where we can be coached, where we can also prepare the next party or the next event or the next intervention that we're going to do. But we need to remember to go to the kitchen from time to time to just reflect. I know that there are a lot of more small nuances to these 4 positions, but hopefully this has just given you some energy and wanting to go and read these books because they're really, really good. So that's it. I'm hoping that if you like these videos, that you will share them with your network and subscribe. That would be awesome. And as always, comments, questions, ideas and feedback are more than welcome. Have a super awesome day.